Hello, Holbrook students. I am Mrs. Kurth and I teach second grade at Holbrook Elementary. My joke for today is, what is the cat's favorite TV show? The Evening Meows and Story. Get it? Today I'm going to be reading two chapters, chapter 20 and chapter 21 in Pet War. The Pet War. Chapter 20 is Tuesday, March 20th to Wednesday, March 21st. Money saved, $176.77. At least with Malcolm out of the picture, I kept every penny I earned. Who needed him anyway? I could do just fine without him. If only I could read my handwriting. I really need to work my penmanship. I went to the wrong houses. I accidentally showed up at the wrong times. I even charged people the wrong amounts of money. The worst money exchange happened when I dropped off Chunky, the Chihuahua. "That's $6, please," I said to Miss Greenleaf. "I have a 10, she said, dipping into her purse. "Do you have change?" I counted out 4 singles. "Here you go." "Wait, here's a 20. "No problem." I counted out 5 more singles and a 5. Do a little bit of math. "I don't want all these singles." She handed me 5 of them back to me. "Can I have another $5 bill?" "Sure." I gave her 1. "Oh, look, I have a 10. Can I get change for it?" I handed her 2 $5 bills. She handed me 1 of the bills back. "I'll take ones, please." I counted out 5 ones. "And can I have my $20 bill back?" "Sure." I handed her the 20, and she handed me a stack of singles and 5s. "And do you have change for the 20? I sighed, but gave her some 5s and some singles back. This went on for a while. When I got home, I realized that somehow I paid her $5. I also walked a pig. On the phone, I thought Mrs. Ryan said she needed me to walk a pug. Hamlet, the pot-bellied pig, was small, fat, and slow, plus he snorted occasionally and did not want to move. Mrs. Ryan told me that he would chase after food, so I had to hold some corn in my hand and have him run after me. I was scared to death of banging into something and having Hamlet jump on top of me and eat all the corn. Then I'd never get him home again. I'd probably never get him off me either. But it went all right, I guess. We made it around the entire block, but I wasn't planning on walking any more pigs. After that, I rode my bike up to Grand River Avenue, my flyers tucked under my arm. I put them on lampposts and car windshields and walls and anywhere else I could think of. I'd make you Autocall Auto's dog walking service a household name. Dog walking, not pig walking. If I hadn't been the only one putting up signs, Lexi had been busy again, unfortunately, for me. Everywhere I turned, I saw signs that made me feel more and more depressed. In the window of the hair salon was a bright pink poster that read, "Hair's looking for you, kid," but with Lexi's unmistakable glitter style. When I went to get a better look, my fears were confirmed. In small print of the bottom were the words, "Signs by Lexi." I felt dizzy and had to sit down on the sidewalk for a moment. I noticed other signs too. The hardware store window featured a poster with a picture of a hammer and the words, "It's hammer time at Louie's Hardware House." On the bottom were with those 3 dreadful words. I felt like someone had pummeled me in the stomach with a watermelon. Signs by Lexi. I put some of my signs up, but my heart wasn't in it. My signs seemed so small and uninteresting compared to Lexi's glitter monstrosities. Had she earned $500 for a pet? Was she close? I was so far away from earning that much. After doing horrible at school, in soccer, and losing my best friend, what if I lost the pet war too? The thought was horrible to even imagine. I'm now on chapter 21, and for this, it's Thursday, March 22nd. Money saved, $215.87. Toby looked a lot like his owner, Mr. Jacoby. They both had stubby noses, wide heads, and big jowls. They both made an odd ticking sound in their throats, too. Dogs often tick after their owners, though. Napoleon, the Scotch Terrier, had a mustache just like Mr. Spinoli. Dakota, the Afghan Hound, could have been Miss Preston's long-lost sister if Miss Preston was a dog. which means my dog would be the best and handsomest dog ever. I bet my dog would even play soccer. Toby was a bulldog with a major slobbering issue. I'm not sure if Mr. Jacoby slobbered too. He probably did. Toby was like a leaky faucet. Occasionally shake his head and spray slava everywhere in big, thick, sloppy droplets. Diesel does that sometimes too. So I had to be on my toes to avoid them. He walked faster than you think he could. I tried to pull the leash back, but I was no match for him. I was either kept up, or dragged by. Whenever I told him to slow down, he'd cock his head to one side as if asking, "Really? You can't keep up? Are you kidding me? Look how short my legs are." Still, he was a great dog. Energetic, fun, friendly. Really, those might be the best sorts of dogs of them all if you thought about it. When I yelled at him, he didn't seem to mind. He didn't listen either, but you can't have everything. Mr. Jacoby had warned me not to feed Toby anything. I guess he got sick easily. But we were here to walk, not eat, so I didn't worry about it. Just thinking about food made me hungry, though. I was really tired jogging for so long. When I passed the Wow Cow ice cream parlor and saw a kid about my age walking out the door with a vanilla ice cream cone, my stomach started growling. Ice cream is practically the best food ever. I would agree. I had money in my pocket. I need to save every penny, but $2 won't be the end of the world. Every now and then you have to treat yourself, right? Too bad there was a sign on the ice cream shop door that said no dogs allowed, but at least there wasn't any glitter on the sign. I didn't know the kid with the ice cream cone, but he looked honest enough. He was tall with freckles and I didn't see any scars. You should never tease people with scars. He was eating vanilla ice cream. Bad people didn't eat vanilla. "Hey," I said with a friendly wave, "could you hold my dog while I grab a cone? It'll be just a minute." The boy sniffed. "I'll do it for $1." "It'll just be a few seconds," I replied. $1, he repeated, spitting. He was a tough negotiator. But it was only $1, and I really wanted the ice cream, so I handed him the leash. "Pay in advance," he demanded. "Palm out." I grumbled, but I fisted $1 out of my pocket and handed it over. "Hold it tight, okay?" Yeah, the kid said, shaking his head. "I know how to hold a leash." As I walked away, I thought about telling the kid what Mr. Jacoby said about Toby's delicate stomach and all. Nah, what sort of irresponsible kid would feed someone's dog ice cream? I dashed inside. There were practically 1,000,000 flavors to choose from. I couldn't decide. So I asked if I could taste a dozen of them, including pistachio, almond, and cherries jubilee. I finally settled on Tin Roof, vanilla ice cream, chocolate-covered peanuts, and fudge ripple. It's practically heaven on a cone. "Keep the change." I slipped the guy behind the counter. $2. The price was $1.98. I felt generous. Ice cream will do that to you. When I stepped back outside, the freckled kid and Toby were still there. They hadn't moved, except Toby was the one with the ice cream cone now. The boy laughed while Toby ate it up. Toby loved it, too. I thought it was pretty funny until I remembered Toby's eating problems. Toby took a step back. The cone was all eaten. He didn't look very happy. "What's wrong with your dog?" asked the freckled kid. "How much did you give him?" I asked. The kid shrugged. "All of it?" Then Toby vomited all over the sidewalk and part of my shoe. "He has a weak stomach," I explained meekly. I tossed my own cone away. The smell of vomit would kill your appetite. Toby threw up again. "Are you okay, boy?" I asked him. In response, Toby belched. We walked home pretty slowly after that. Toby didn't feel like jogging anymore. I wasn't in a hurry to get back either. I was going to have a hard time looking Mr. Jacoby in the eye. "What's wrong?" asked Mr. Jacoby when we were back. Toby looked a little green, then he burped again. "Your dog loves ice cream," I stammered, handing him Toby's leash and wiping the back of my shoe on his patio step. I didn't get a tip. My appointments were messed up again. I had an appointment with the new dog, Gaga. I showed up at exactly 5 o'clock. I was pretty proud that I was on time for once. "I need you at 4 o'clock, fumed Mrs. Polensky. She shot me a frosty stare under slanted eyebrows. She held Gaga, a small, fuzzy, white Havanese, in her arms. Normally, they're cute, happy dogs, but Gaga shared the same evil stare as her owner. She even had the same eyebrows. But then again, dogs do look like their owners. I thought it was now, I blurted out. Now is not 4 o'clock. Maybe you forgot to set the clocks ahead during daylight savings time a few months ago. Or is it moved them back? I always get confused. She closed the door on me, so I guess that wasn't it. But at least it meant I won't be too late for the 5:15 appointment that I'd made and had misread. It was with Buttercup, and she was still knowingly yapping and jumping the entire walk. After the dog party debacle, I was surprised Mrs. Linkletter even called me. I guess she recognized my dog walking excellence, even though she exclaimed I was the cheapest dog walker around and better than nothing. But I'd show her. I walked Buttercup extra long to impress her. Unfortunately, I missed my next appointment, which I remembered about 2 hours after it was scheduled. I called to apologize, but the owner hung up on me. I guess I can't blame him, though. The new responsible Otto wasn't feeling very responsible. My flyers kept getting new customers, but many only used me once and never again. They said they need someone who was more dependable. I was dependable, I told them. I just wasn't particularly good with addresses or time or money. But I was trying. That had to count for something, right? I needed Malcolm. Malcolm knew exactly how much to charge. He told me exactly where to go and when. That's a funny thing about being a boss. It doesn't do any good if you have no one to boss. But if you boss people too much, then they won't stick around to be bossed anymore. No wonder bosses make so much money. They need to get paid just to keep track of the whole thing. And I never tell Malcolm this, but I sort of missed hanging out with him. So I knocked on Malcolm's door after dinner. His mom answered and told me Malcolm was up in his room. I ran upstairs. He was doing homework. I was so far behind in my homework, I hate to even think about doing my own. So I tried not to. It was just depressing. What do you want? Malcolm snarled, looking up from his desk. What you doing? I asked with a warm, casual smile, as if nothing had happened between us. Homework. What do you think? He replied. I stared at him for a moment, and he glared back. Look, I'm sorry, I muttered softly, breaking the silence. What? Asked Malcolm. You need to speak louder. Sorry, I muttered again. What? I'm sorry, I yelled. I know I was too bossy. You weren't bossy. You were an inconsiderate, egomaniacal, narcissist brain. I don't know what half those words mean, I admitted, but probably was. Say them out loud. Say them out loud. I was an inconsiderate, egomaniacal, narcissist brain. I sighed. I was an inconsiderate, ego something brain. Close enough, Malcolm smiled, and his smile was the best thing that happened to me in days. I plopped down in my bed relieved. You could rejoin the business if you want. No thanks. You could make lots of money. No thanks. I decided to throw pride out the window. I sat up and clasped my hands together. Please, I can't do this alone. Everything's messed up. I need you to balance my books, make my appointments, tell me how much to charge. I'm a great dog walker. Well, maybe not great. But with my dog walking and your business savvy, there would be no stopping us. Maybe. Malcolm looked at me. His mouth curved from a smile down to a frown and then back up to a smile again. Fine. Okay, I'm in. But I want 25% of the profits this time. But that's more than half, I shouted. No, it's not. Fine, I relented. We shook on it, but I would have given more than half the money to be my friend again. I would give him half. We have to reread when we make a mistake. But I would have given him more than half the money to be my friend again. Not that I would have told him. I knew dogs are a man's best friend, but everyone needs a human best friend too. Having both is best of all, and I would agree to that. Take care, friends. Bye.